Hello.
Welcome to Point Blank. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kai Ling. Today on our show, Rottweilers and the proposed new laws by the AVA.
That's right. With us in studio, we have 4 guests. They are dog trainers, Kenny Ma and Patrick Wong. We also have a proud Rottweiler owner, Catherine Poon, and her pooch, Hella.
Hello.
Welcome all.
Yeah, welcome guys, and thanks for coming on to our show. But before we go on, maybe we should take a look at what this new guideline is all about.
That's right.
Too fast? Too furious? Or just misunderstood? A spate of Rottweiler attacks on people in recent years has put the spotlight on this breed of canine. Since 2005, Rottweilers were responsible for 11 attacks on people, accounting for 3 out of 8 attacks each year. Just in October, a man was injured after 2 strained Rottweilers attacked him along Toh Tak Road. Both dogs were unleashed and unmuzzled, a no-no for this breed. Now, there may be new laws for Rottweilers and their owners. If the rules were passed, owners can expect to pay more for their dogs. $180 for insurance premiums that will provide at least $100,000 to cover any damage or injury the dog may cause, $2,000 in banker's guarantee with the AVA, and putting their Rotties through obedience school. Singapore is not the only country where Rottweilers are categorized as dangerous dogs. In France, Italy and the Netherlands, it is also mandatory to leash and muzzle the Rottweilers in public. Rottweilers were also banned for some time in Thailand after one mauled a 3-year-old girl to death in 2000. So what happened to man's best friend? Has those days gone to the dogs? Well, clearly not.
Okay, now that we've seen the clip, let's throw this to the floor. It's a pretty hot issue. What do our guests think about the proposed rulings for the Rottweilers? We're going to start with Mrs Catherine Poon, because she's a Rottweiler owner, right? So,
Yes.
okay, what are your thoughts?
Okay, I have kept Rottweiler since like 1990s. I don't think it posed much of a problem to, and I just heard about this ruling.
Yep.
The ruling on the training for Rottweilers, I think it shouldn't be just on a Rottweiler itself. It should be on all working dogs, even toy dogs. It's a basic need that owner should actually provide to their pet. Yeah. As for the insurance, the 100k insurance, I think it should also be just on a Rottweiler, because you shouldn't penalize this breed. There's nothing wrong with the breed. It's the owner responsibility, every owner responsibility, to ensure that the pets do not cause a nuisance to the neighborhood or whatsoever. So it should be just on Rottweilers. And I don't think there's really a need for this insurance thing at all.
So you think that if there's a rule, it should apply to all dogs lah?
It should be at least to all working dogs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Patrick, what do you think?
Well, dogs, they are good dogs, they are bad dogs.
Patrick has got the scar wound.
Yes, I've been bitten, many times by dogs, and of course, I personally think, of course, sometimes many dog owners would think about sending a dog for training when they encounter problem, when they cannot manage their dog, But if they start training their dog when they are young, I think most dog owners will be able to control their dog. Yes.
Training should actually start since puppy, since when they're pet.
Yeah.
The day you bring the dog to the home, it's the day where they start proper training. Yeah.
But then sometimes, I've heard of people who sort of adopt Rottweilers who used to be like guard dogs. So how can these people sort of prepare themselves? Because obviously they have not been with the dog since they were young.
So I think they have to spend more time with the dog, bring the dogs to friends and let the friends socialize with human at the same time. If possible, if they have some friends with other dogs, socialize the dog.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people are very afraid of showing a mixing doggies together.
Yes.
Because like my dog thinks that he's a human. If he sees another dog, he'll be like, oh, what's this? Then bark, bark, bark.
Yes, definitely. If you see a Rottweiler, they are large and powerful, but actually their temperament is just super good.
Yeah.
If the approach is correct.
Okay, Kenneth, what do you think about the new rulings?
I think the compulsory training, I think that is of not much use unless you really educate the owners, and whether it's existing owners, potential new owners, on what is really the importance of training. I fully agree with Patrick. Training has to start young, right? If you make it compulsory, owners will probably send the dogs out for training with their domestic help. They are not there, they don't pay attention to it. At home, problems still exist.
Yeah.
So I think what we need is to educate the owners, the public. It's just more than keeping a dog at home, feeding it 3 meals a day, giving it shelter, but rather understanding the importance of training. And I think once they understand the form of training, they know they can achieve a lot more with their dogs. There won't be any more problems with untrained dogs, with dogs being...
so you're thinking that it's more like for general, like all dogs are...
Yeah, right.
So Catherine, you have you like reared other dogs other than Rottweilers?
Yes, definitely. I started with boxers, I even had German Shepherd, and down the line, finally I decided a Rottweiler is my dog.
So you like big dogs lah?
Yeah.
Okay, why do you choose a Rottweiler?
Big dogs?
Actually, Rottweilers are rather calm, because very royal. They're actually like very dedicated to the family. They are very royal. And of course, needless to say, they are good guard dogs. Actually, if under well-trained obedience, a Rottweiler, they actually can get along very well with the children too. And it's like a family. You come back from home after a hard day's work, you see the dog wagging the tail, you sit beside you.
It's like what you see in the video that we had, the Rottweiler playing with baby. So it's sort of like a misunderstanding, right? A lot of people think that kids should stay away from big dogs, but actually Rottweilers do quite well with children.
Yes, definitely.
How about your children when they were young and growing up with the dogs?
They actually play with them, come along with me to dog shows and whatsoever. And at the park, they can even handle the dog at the park alone.
Okay, let me...
So I don't see much of a problem.
Yeah.
They actually...
These are Catherine's children. I assume that they are your children.
Yes,
correct. Scully is a relative or something.
No, it's mine.
Catherine's children and the Rottweiler. This is this Hella? Or this one?
Yeah, that is Hella.
This one, is it?
Yeah. So
Okay.
even at young age, my sons are young. There's no problem with Rottweilers at all. They even play. You can play balls with them. It don't pose a problem at all. So it's actually how the owner socialize the dog, handle the dog. More on the responsibility of the owner. I'll put it this way.
Actually, with regards to the rule about getting these dogs trained, I sort of think that whether there's a rule or not, it's the owner's responsibility to teach them, to equip themselves on how to handle dogs like that, be it like big dogs, small dog, toy dogs. So, I mean, being trainers, do you all see a lot of sort of irresponsible owners who sort of come to you at the last minute for help?
Oh no, my dog.
My
arm ready. How?
Yes, I do encounter many owners that only think about sending their dog to training when they encounter problem. I think the whole thing is like what Catherine said, responsibility, owner responsibility, very important. Just like sending our kids for piano lesson. If the kid is not interested to play the piano, well, they will do it because they go through that motion, because the parents say you have to do it. Okay, I'll do it. But I have seen many of my friends who hate the piano. They learn piano, but they hate the piano because they are forced to do it. So similarly with dog training. I have got many people who enrolled into my class. Say, I've got this dog and I would like to send my dog for training. Sure, no problem. The best thing to do is put him in an obedient class where the dog is trained to socialize with other dogs, train him to respond to command in the presence of distraction. And when the lesson starts, I was shocked that some of them leave their mate in the class Some of them leave their children in the class and the parents disappear.
Got better things to do.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I'm busy. We have no
Yeah,
time.
it also probably reflects that they are not the ones who are taking care of the dog, but their mates
That's
who are
right,
taking
that's
care
right.
of the dog.
So I think at the end of the day, but of course we do have many responsible dog owners like Catherine herself, who really take care of their dog. They love their dog like their children. Like what Catherine said, I think educating the dog owner, or like what Kenny said, educating the dog owner is probably more important than making it compulsory, to have all dog training. Yeah.
Okay. Kenny, what are your thoughts?
Right. I think being in training for the past few years, we have seen very irresponsible dog owners that thinks training only starts when problem starts.
Yeah.
Right. So regardless of the breed, regardless of the size of the dog, we have small dogs like Chihuahua or Maltese, really toy breed, but really aggressive. Really aggressive. They have been kept at home in an apartment for 8 years. Have not been out at all.
So like become
Right. So can you imagine? Can you imagine bring the dog out?
Yeah, if you buy a dog and you tie the dog almost the whole day.
Yeah,
Right.
I
Half a
remember
day.
I went to a friend's place before and he had, I think it was either a Schnauzer or a Maltese, it was too long ago, I can't remember. And I realized the dog kept running in circles.
Right.
And I was like, why did it keep running in circles? It's like, oh, we adopted it from somewhere, I can't remember. Is it the past owner kept the dog on a leash tied to a tree? So the
that's
dog
the
only knows how to
territory.
run the radius.
That was his training.
So,
Is it?
yeah, so that's the radius that he runs around all the time.
Okay, is it ever too late to teach a dog?
You can still
Okay,
teach
like
old
how
dog new
old-
tricks, right?
Yeah, how old?
Well, okay. The oldest dog that attended my class, I remember was almost 10 years old. But of course, there are still many people who call up to inquire and say, hey, I have a dog, he's 12 years old now, can I send him for obedient training? And I always tell them, if you can bear with the dog for 12 years, why don't you bear with it for another 2 more years? Yeah, why do you think about training only when the dog is at the age of 12? Well, there's no difference between training a 9-year-old dog or a 9-month-old puppy.
Yeah.
I think personally, think that obedient training is like buying insurance. The earlier you train the dog, the earlier you benefit from the training. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then why do you think like the Rottweiler is being singled out then? Because like of all breeds, the AVA has targeted that. The Rottweiler has to pay the premium, has to pay insurance, and put a deposit.
But there are other dangerous dogs in that category as
like
well.
the Chihuahua, very dangerous. Your eyeball is not safe, it may just jump and...
Precisely. I just don't know why they have to.
Well, I guess the main thing is because the Rottweiler, they can be life-threatening, Where else with a Chihuahua at most they bite off your toe or your finger, but it's not life-threatening, yeah? So they can be strong. They are very, very strong dog. But of course, it's not just with the Rottweiler. There are other breeds.
Yeah, but
German
there are
German Shepherds and Doberman, they
I
can just.
try not to quote the breed. But
You cannot
name
like Daryl and
these can be
Put it
dangerous.
this way, all working dogs,
quite dangerous.
all working dogs is capable of doing so.
Yeah.
All working
Sure.
dogs. Let's not penalize any breed because it's not the dog that should be penalized. It's more on the owner responsibility.
But I guess it is. I would think that it is very much due to still this particular breed being stereotyped. It being big in size. That a lot of dogs being different breeds big in size.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's one that is black in color.
Yeah.
Right, it gives you a very ferocious look.
And plus the markings, right?
Paling is
markings.
markings and black in color.
Right. So I mean, they can be friendly in nature. They can be friendly in heart. But if they look ferocious, nobody is good. I mean, of course, dog lovers like us, anyone who comes in contact with them, we know that they are good. But if you are afraid of dogs from the start, and by the look of it, it's going to scare you way off. Yeah. So I think this is going to.
Actually now, we will turn to comments on the internet.
We got some web comments. Okay.
Yeah, I think this guy, Red Devil 72, has a question for Catherine.
Does she have any small children at home? Isn't she worried that one day the dog might go berserk?
No, like you
Of
mentioned.
course, right now my children are big. I started this hobby keeping these Rottweilers since 1990s when my children are even just toddler.
But did you have any reservations then about getting a big dog when your children were still small?
No, I had even the boxers and German Shepherd before. Oh, definitely not. And it never posed a problem to me. The dogs never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you tell your children to behave properly in front of the dog? So some kids very naughty, they go and smack the dog and then run away or something like that.
Actually, it's like the comment that Singapore Capo has sent in. I will not totally trust my dogs with my kids, no matter the breed. I believe any breed of dog can snap, especially if the kids have the potential of tormenting the dogs. Okay, I think nothing is more cruel than children. Children, they don't know what it means to be pain. They'll just stab and whatever.
Yes.
So, when dogs, what do you think about that?
Of course, we have to be more alert on our part. Keep a distance. Don't come from behind and pull the tail or whatsoever.
Yeah.
We have to educate our children
So
too.
you teach them these things,
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, what do you think, Patrick?
Well, I also think it's important to educate the children. I got dog at home and I never had problem with the kid doing. But sometimes if the dog do get, not the dog, the kids get naughty and try to smack the dog, I would of course reprimand them. And you cannot hit the dog. You got to treat them, like part of the family. They are living thing. You should not hit the dog. Educating the children, I think, is important.
Yeah, so education starts young, just like you gotta inculcate
not just for dogs, but for human
but
beings
for human
also.
beings,
Actually, even for training, for our classes that we held, we encourage the whole family, regardless of age. Even if we have a 5-year-old kid, 70-year-old grandma, we encourage all of them to come in together to class. Everyone has a common understanding what to do, what not to do.
Yeah.
So even a kid, 5 years old, with a good understanding, they know they can do simple sit with the dog. Even the dog is maybe 45 kg, like Ella, do a simple sit. They can do it, right? So if they can manage the dog, there shouldn't be any potential mishap that's happening. I don't think there's a serious problem if the kids are well educated as well.
Okay. Okay, there are a lot more comments coming in, but we're going to take a short breather. When we come back, more comments from people on the ground as well.